Hi, I'm Jess Trainer, and I decided to do my TED Talk on creating safe spaces for kids with autism so that they can grow and feel comfortable, especially in programs and during therapy and even obviously in the home. This is especially important for kids that have autism because they have a lot of social difficulties, so it's important to create safe spaces where they feel that they can communicate. They experience things such as social isolation, communication difficulties, and insistence on sameness. So, going off of that insistence on sameness, um, it's important to have similar areas set up if they're learning in those environments or even if they're taking therapy in those environments. It's very important that they are set up similarly each time that a child comes in because sometimes they can only feel like they can do the same task if they see the same objects or even if they see the same person. So if they're similar areas, similar staff, or multiple staff, they might be more inclined to open up or work through therapies if they are comfortable and familiar with this person. This is where like the idea of empathy becomes extremely important because to create a safe space, an individual with ASD has to feel as though they are understood and that they can feel comfortable with the person that they are opening up to, since that is very difficult for them. And that relationship is maintained. I know from working that if staff changes often, like say if you have a classroom where there is a teacher and multiple staff, if those staff are changing, there can be a lot more issues in the classroom since they are not consistently getting the same schedule every day and they're not working with people that they're used to and that they trust. So that's definitely important in creating a safe space. Um, Also, an example of a safe space that you can create would be a sensory room. Those are very important when kids get overwhelmed or stressed out. An example of this would be having them in the school where a program is held, or even in your home if you are, so lucky enough to be able to build a sensory room for your child in your house. That could be really cool. They can silence noises, and they're usually like very dimly lit or even like black lights with like black light paint. Since kids with ASD can be very heavily bothered by large noises or like a lot of like visual like stimuli, um, those spaces are really important to help them like calm down if they are feeling upset or if they've been overwhelmed, or even if they have a behavior or something occurs because they are feeling uncomfortable in a different space. If they know this room as a calming environment where nobody is going to bother them, then that can really help. Um, I think that both of these kinds of things are very important if you're trying to like make headway with a kid that has autism because they function very differently, and a person can be a safe space, a room can be a safe space. Sensory room is an awesome example of a safe space. But since we are just now starting to go into an area where we want to create these safe spaces and where they are not getting institutionalized, I think it's really important that we study how to make these spaces good for them and how to create the best situation possible. I know that from working with kids for longer periods of time, they really start to open up to you, and it really bothers them if you are not there and they are used to having you there. So, creating these environments for them is very key. Thank you.